All right, so we are back here, and it's my first time trying to do a live stream and record at the same time. We'll see how this goes, but DC has made a massive move, and honestly, this is pretty great news. I'm very excited for it. Let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
We're back, and like I said, live streaming right now. If you want to check it out, I'm going to be trying to be doing this for every single podcast. It's a little bit more complicated, and I kind of already messed up, but we'll see how this goes. Doing it live and recording it, killing two birds with one stone. We'll see how it goes. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at Super Dario World. Live stream, I'm going to be doing a gaming live stream with my kid brother. I do one every Tuesday and Thursday. At least I'm aiming for it at 4 p.m. You can find that on Twitch and on YouTube at Super Dario World. Yesterday's actually went pretty well. It was fun. We had a good time. We did it 2 hours. Now I'm kind of having an issue. I have a computer like right above me, and so that's where I play. And right now my neck is just killing me. So we are discovering that there's a few things that we kind of need to fix. There's a few things that we kind of need to change. But, it's a learning process. It's a learning curve. We'll see how it goes. But let's get into it. So the big news from yesterday, it was announced by DC that they will be releasing a new animated movie. And that animated movie is Batman Death in the Family. So I was kind of concerned about talking about this one because it's a major spoiler if I tell you what it's about. But if you see the trailer, they released a trailer for it, and they did something that I think it's genius. Now, I've complained for a really long time that DC has no idea what it's doing on its cinematic front, but the animated world and everything else, they kind of have their shit together, and this one just sounds amazing. Like, I'm telling you, watch the trailer. It's Batman Death in the Family. The trailer just came out, and to tell you what they did is they made this an interactive movie. So it's going to be a movie where you make a decision. They did an episode of the Black Mirror not too long ago where you get to do this, where you make decisions. I don't know how deep the interaction is going to be, but they did say it's going to be interactive, and at least one decision is pretty major. So for those of you who don't know and who don't want to know, well, spoiler alert, but honestly, it's in the trailer, so it's kind of a big part of the story. Death in the Family is a very big, very important moment in the Batman world, in the Batman storyline. It's maybe its most important story, in a way, or at least the most consequential one, because it deals with the death of one of the members of the Bat family. And it was actually pretty interesting, because it was a comic book event back in the day when the comic first came out, and it's because DC basically put out an ad saying like, "Hey, the Joker wants revenge on Batman, and he's gonna try to kill, and he wants to kill Robin. So, you can save him. And so call this number and tell us if you want Robin to be saved or not." And so a bunch of people called, and ultimately, the Joker ended up killing a particular Robin. In this case, it's Jason Todd. So that's what Death in the Family ended up being. So it was a major moment back then, and now it's a major moment, and it's a major moment now because for the first time, I believe it's the first time that DC's doing this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've heard of it, at least. DC's making an interactive movie, meaning that you can make choices for Batman, meaning that you can choose if you save Jason Todd, and if you save Jason Todd, that completely changes the story afterwards. So this is going to be several movies into one that you create in a way. So from what you can see in the trailer, it goes a little bit into a story that I really like. It's one of my favorites. It's called Under the Red Hood. I love that movie. I highly recommend it. Great animated movie. So if you take certain choices, it'll go in that direction, but still going to be a little bit different. If you make something if you choose to do something that's completely different than what happens in the comics, it's going to go in another direction. So all of it is actually pretty fantastic. It's very creative. It's a movie that you're going to want to watch or live over and over again so that you get all the results. So if you're a Batman fan, you're gonna love this. And I'm a huge Batman fan. So I as soon as I saw the trailer, I just immediately pre-ordered it. Like I didn't even care. It was the immediate pre-order. Want it. I need it. They don't even have a release date for it. And let me see if I can. Well, I'm not supposed to be putting trailers in the background anymore because it gets you in trouble or whatever. You're not legally supposed to do it, but whatever. I think maybe I can switch it around if I do it maybe this way. Let me just. You know what? I'm not gonna risk it. Always gets me in trouble. So, but anyway, it's a. Well, I think I have an image here. That's Jason Todd. So, the story. Oh, I have a schedule here. Cool. So the story is actually pretty good. It's one of the better Batman stories. To me, it's what does this mean for DC for the future? You know, what does this mean for future projects? Is this something they're going to try to explore? Because DC's actually trying to do some pretty creative stuff. Honestly, they've gone a little bit wild with a few things. They announced that they're going to be doing podcasts, so superhero podcasts. You know, there's story podcasts out there. There's one that I always recommend. It came out a few years ago, and it was promoting the new Halo video game, or at least the new Halo video game at that time, called it was for Halo Guardians. It was called Hunt the Truth. I loved it. So if they start doing stories like that with superheroes, I'm all in. You know, it's basically like a interactive story that you can hear. Well, it's a podcast story. Those are actually pretty fun. Now they're doing this with animated movies, and so they already had the best movies out there. In the animated realm, DC had the best movies, and now they're taking it one step further, where you can actually get to live them. This is, like I said, this is a game changer, because you're giving the audience, first off, one of the all-time great storylines. If you follow the traditional story, you can just go the original story, the comic book story. You can really relive that, but you also have a bunch of different options for fans that they can actually explore a little bit. Like, oh, what if? So you get the original content plus the what if content. That's great. Honestly, that's for people who love speculating. And then you're like, all right, okay, you get other decisions about what will happen if Jason Todd did this. What will happen if Batman did this? So there's, honestly, I don't know how deep they went into this. I'm guessing that they put quite a fair amount of work, and they at least have to have at least 6 different storylines, because there has to be something if Jason Todd gets saved by Batman. It has to be something if Jason Todd dies, and it has to be something if Jason Todd saves himself. So those are three things that three storylines, and for those 3 storylines, there has to at least be 2 decisions for each one. So there have to be at least 6 different endings here, which means it's a movie that you get to enjoy 6 different times but you only paid for 1. So money wise, it's a great idea. And just for the fan base in general, that's a lot of fun. Like I said, if you're a Batman fan, if you're a DC fan, yeah, well, I am, and I love this idea. This is great. The DC had always been kick-ass on their animated movies. Now it looks like they're going to be kick-ass. They're even going to be even more kick-ass. And I mean, this opens up a world of possibilities, because they can do this with pretty much any title, which would be so much fun. Like, I don't want to get into which ones I would like, because there's always possibilities. They already did Under the Red Hood, and this is kind of basically Under the Red Hood, but they could also do. Well, they could also, which means they could redo other movies. They could redo Hush. They could redo, the Mask of the Phantasm. They could do something there. They could do so much stuff. Honestly, Batman has so much material that could work. They could redo Flashpoint Paradox. Imagine multiple Flashpoint paradoxes. Oh no, that one is gonna hurt my brain. But yeah, to me this is big. It shows that at least one area DC has their shit together. At least that's the animated area. Hopefully this will transfer to the to the film world. I'm hopeful. I saw a clip the other day of the Dark Superman from Zack Snyder. They released a clip where you actually see Superman in the dark Superman suit, it was a little weird, because it's a scene with Alfred, and also it was a deleted scene from the Justice League where Superman had the normal suit. So, I mean, it was honestly very confusing, because so it's a scene that they already had, and it was normal Superman, and then they switched it for Dark Superman. Why? I don't know, but it kind of throws a wrench in my whole theory of what the hell the Justice League was supposed to be about. But honest, like it keeps getting me more and more excited to see the movie, the re-release of that. So hopefully that helps kind of get things in order there. They already said that it's going to be a separate universe, but it's going to be the Snyderverse while the rest of the movies go somewhere else. I still have no idea what the hell Wonder Woman's going to be. I'm not excited for it at all. But this I'm excited for. It's going to be straight to DVD and Blu-ray on demand, but you can pre-order it now. It doesn't say when it's going to come out. Usually they don't announce these things very far off. The animated movies, it's 1-2 months off. So I already did my pre-order. As soon as I get a confirmed release date, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, honestly, this is fun stuff. This is exciting stuff. I don't know if you guys are excited, but I'm excited. I'm very much looking forward to DC getting their act together, and I'm very much looking forward to this. It's a different Batman event. Sometimes it's a nice change, and they picked the perfect one because this story actually has consequences. You know what I'm saying? Other stories, they might. Ooh, the one with Batgirl might be interesting. What's the name? Oh, The Killing Joke. That could be pretty interesting too. I could just really go off on thinking what will be the best story. All right, so pros and cons. No, you know what? Return of the Dark Knight would be awesome, but no, I think let's stick to this one. Because this one, you have an actual consequence. It's a storyline that has an actual consequence. So the decision that you make actually matters. Although they could be adding consequences to the other movies where certain decisions might not have mattered before. Interesting. I'm okay. I could go off for a really long time on that. I don't think it's important. I think that's it. That's a good place to stop for today. But yeah, wanted to share that. Oops. Oh, a little bit loud. Want to share that piece of news. Hopefully you find it as exciting as I do. And if not, well, I don't know why. You suck. Anyway, as always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDarioPeriodWorld. Like I said, I'm going to be streaming all this stuff. I said Super Dario Period World, didn't I? No, it's Super Dario World. I'm going to be trying to live stream every single podcast episode. Hope if you want to join me there, I can answer questions in the chat maybe at the end. I'm not sure yet, but that'll be on Twitch and YouTube. Also, I'll be streaming a game on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. I'm aiming for 4 p.m. Doesn't always work out, but that's it for today. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.